Chapter 21 Stories of V.H. Thakur, Anantrao Patankar, and Pandrapur Pleader. In this chapter, Hemant Pant relates the stories of Vinayak Harishchandra Thakur, B.A. Anantrao Patankar of Pune, and a pleader from Pandrapur. All these stories are very interesting, which, if very carefully read and grasped, will lead the readers onto the spiritual path. Preliminary. It is a general rule that it is our good luck in the form of accumulation of merits of past births that enables us to seek the company of saints and benefit thereby. As an illustration of this rule, Hemant Pant gives his own instance. He was a resident magistrate of Bandra, a suburb of Mumbai, for many years. A famous Mohammedan saint named Pir Maulana was living there, and many Hindus, Parsis, and many others who followed different religion used to go to him and take his darshan. His Mujawar by name Yunus pressed Hemant Pant many a time for going to see him, but for one reason or the other he was not able to see him. After many years his turn came and he was called to Shirdi, where he was permanently enrolled in Sai Baba's Darbar. Unfortunate fellows do not get such contact of the saints. It is only the fortunate ones that get it. Institution of saints. There have been institutions of saints in this world from time immemorial. Various saints appear themselves in various places to carry out the missions allotted to them. But though they work in different places, they are as it were one. They work in unison under the common authority of the Almighty Lord and know fully well what each of them is doing in his place and supplement his work where necessary. An instance illustrating this is given below. Mr. Thakur, Mr. V.H. Thakur B.A. was a clerk in the revenue department, and he once came to a town named Vadgaon near Belgaum along with a survey party. There he saw a canary saint and bowed before him. The saint was explaining a portion from the book Vichar Sagar of Nishal Das, a standard work on the Vedanta, to the audience. When Thakur was taking his leave to go, he said to him, "You should study this book, and if you do so, your desires will be fulfilled. And if you go to the north in the discharge of your duties in future, you will come across a great saint by your fortune, and then he will show you the future path and give rest to your mind and make you happy." Then he was transferred to Junnar, where he had to go by crossing Nane Ghat. This ghat was very steep and difficult, and no other conveyance other than a buffalo was of use in crossing it. So he had to take a buffalo ride through the ghat, which was much inconvenient to him. Hence he was transferred on promotion to Kalyan, and there he got acquainted with Nana Sahib Chandorkar. He heard much about Sai Baba from him and wished to see him. Next day, Nana Sahib had to go to Shirdi, and he asked Thakur to accompany him. He could not do so as he had to attend the Thana civil court for a civil case. So Nana Sahib went alone. Thakur went Thana, but there the case was postponed. Then he repented for not accompanying Nana Sahib. Still he left for Shirdi, and when he reached there, he found that Nana Sahib had left the place the previous day. Some of his other friends whom he met there took him to Baba. He saw Baba fell at his feet and was overjoyed. His eyes were full of tears and his hair stood on end. Then after a while the omniscient Baba said to him, "The path of this place is not so easy as the teaching of the canary Saint Appa, or even as the buffalo ride in the Nane Ghat. In this spiritual path you have to put in your best exertion." It is very difficult. When Thakur heard these significant words, which only he knew, he was overwhelmed with joy. He came to know that the word of the canary saint had turned true. Then, joining both hands and placing his head on Baba's feet, he prayed that he should be accepted and blessed. Then Baba said, "What Appa told you was all right, but these things have to be practiced and lived. You have to think and carry out what you read, otherwise, it is of no use. Mere book learning without the grace of the Guru and self realization is of no avail. The theoretical portion was read from the work Vichar Sagar by Thakur, but the practical way was shown to him at Shirdi. Another story given below will bring out this truth more forcibly. One gentleman from Pune by name Anantrao Patankar wished to see Baba. He came to Shirdi and took Baba's darshan. His eyes were satisfied and he was much pleased. He fell at Baba's feet and after performing proper worship said to Baba, I have read a lot, studied Vedantas and the Upanishads and heard all the Puranas, but still I have not got any peace of mind, so I think all my reading was useless. Simple, ignorant, devout persons are better than myself. Useless and mind becomes calm. Book learning is of no avail. I have heard from many people that you easily give peace of mind to so many people by your mere glance and potent word, so I have come here. Please take pity on me and bless me. Then Baba told him a parable which was as follows. Parable of 9 balls of stools. Once a merchant came here. Before him a mare passed her stool. The merchant, intent on his quest, spread the end of his dhotr and gathered all the 9 balls in it, and thus he got concentration, peace of mind. Mr. Patankar could not make out the meaning of this story, so he asked Ganesh Damodar alias Dada Kelkar, what does Baba mean by this? He replied, I too do not know all that Baba says that and means, but at his inspiration I say what I come to know. The mare is God's grace, and the 9 balls excreted are the 9 forms or types of bhakti, namely Shravan, hearing, Kirtan, praying, Smaran, remembering, Padasevan, resorting to the feet, Archan, worship, Namaskar, bowing, Dasya, service, Shakyam, friendship, Atma Nivedan, surrender of the self. These are the 9 types of bhakti. If any of these is faithfully followed, Lord Hari will be pleased and manifest himself in the home of the devotee. All the sadhanas, namely japa, tapa, yoga practice, and studying the scriptures and expounding them are quite useless unless they are accompanied by bhakti, that is devotion. Knowledge of the Vedas are famed as a great dhyani, and a mere formal bhajan are of no avail. What is wanted is full devotion. Consider yourself as the merchant or seeker for after the truth, and be anxious and eager like him to collect or cultivate the 9 types of devotion. Then you will attain stability and peace of mind. Next day, when Patankar went to Baba for salutation, he was asked whether he collected the 9 balls of stool. Then he said that he, being a poor fellow, should first be graced by Baba and he would be able to collect them. Then Baba blessed and comforted him, saying that he would attain peace and welfare. After hearing this, Patankar became overjoyed and happy. The Pandrapur pleader. We shall close this chapter with a short story showing Baba's omniscience and his using it for correcting people and setting them on a right path. Once a pleader from Pandrapur came to Shirdi, went to the masjid, saw Sai Baba, fell at his feet, and without being asked, offered some dakshina and sat in a corner, eager to hear the talk that was going on. Then Baba turned his face towards him and said, how cunning the people are. They fall at the feet, offer dakshina, but abuse behind him me. Is it not amazing? This remark fitted the pleader, and he had to take it. None understood the remark. The pleader grasped it but kept silent. When they returned to the Wada, the pleader said to Kaka Sahib Dikshit, what Baba remarked was perfectly right. The remark was aimed at me. It was a hint to me that I should not indulge in reviling or scandalizing others. When the sub-judge or munisaf of Pandrapur came and stayed here for the improvement of his health, a discussion about this matter was going on in the bar room. at Pandrapur. It was said or discussed there whether the ailments from which the subject suffered were ever likely to be got rid of without medicines by merely going after Sai Baba, and whether it was proper for an educated man like the subject to take recourse to such methods. The subject was taken to task, that is, he was criticized as also Sai Baba. I also took part in this affair, and now Sai Baba showed the impropriety of my conduct. This is not a rebuke to me, but a favor, a lesson that I should not indulge in any scandal or slander of others and not interfere unnecessarily in other affairs. Shirdi is about 50 kilometers from Pandrapur. Still, Baba, by his omniscience, knew what transpired there in the barroom. The intervening places, rivers, jungles, and mountains were no bar to his all perceiving sight, and he could see or read the hearts of all, and there was nothing secret or veiled from him. Everything far or near was open and clear to him, as broad as daylight. Let a man be far or near, he cannot avoid the all pervading gaze of Sai Baba. From this incident, the pleader took the lesson that he should never speak ill of others or unnecessarily criticize. Thus, his evil tendency was completely got rid of, and he was set on the right path. Though the story refers to a pleader, still it is applicable to all. All should therefore take this lesson to heart and benefit thereby. Sai Baba's greatness is unfathomable, so are his wonderful Leelas. His life is also such, for he is Parabrahma incarnate. Go to Sri Sai, peace be to all.